Hello beautiful people, how are you guys doing? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Dan. So it's finally here, my top 10 sunscreens for 2025. It's gonna be kind of like a top 12 actually this year. I've decided to do something a little bit more different. I am gonna very quickly share the ones that didn't really work for me, the bad ones, the average ones. This way maybe I can help save you some money if you're thinking of buying any of those. And then I am gonna spend more time towards the top 10, where actually I'm going to talk about the filters, my experience with each sunscreen, all that stuff. Before I start, consider follow me on Instagram. I'm going to keep it short because this video is going to be very long. Subscribe to this channel for more skincare content. Check out my Patreon in case you want to help support the channel, and check out my TikTok. I have a TikTok account. Okay, so I'm going to start with the worst ones. I have 4 sunscreens. The worst one is going to go to Nivea Sun Ultra Fluid, I guess, because it's in Portuguese here, because I bought this one in Lisbon. It's this tinted one, and the tint actually matched me, which is rare. It was actually a pretty nice tint, but the actual sunscreen, horrible. It applied very badly. I mean, initially it was kind of good, but then as you're applying it, it starts to dry down very fast while you're applying it, so you don't have any time to actually spray it on your skin, and you end up with all these like messy, patchy areas, unprotected areas, horrible in the beard area, in the eyebrows. I don't know, I tried it over skincare, I tried it on like bare face, nothing on my skin. It didn't work anyway. It is fluidy, it is nice and lightweight, but I don't know what happened. It does have fragrance, it does have alcohol, and mostly new generation filters, but I think it has an old one also. So yeah, this one, skip this one. I don't know if you can make it work. Let me know in the comments below. I've tried, didn't work for me. Then I have this one from Heliocare, which is the gel oil-free sunscreen SPF50 plus. It is another tinted one. The tint was just too pale for me, very white. But even if it matched my skin tone, I don't think this would work for me. It looks very makeup-y. It has too much tint for a tinted sunscreen, in my opinion, because it's kind of like a heavy foundation. Dry, doesn't look good on the skin. Looks very makeup-y, looks very cakey. Just, yeah, not a good one. Besides that, though, I think only new generation filters in this one. It does have fragrance, and I think it's almost long-lasting safe. But I cannot really recommend this one to anybody, just because of the way it looks. UV Expert from Cute Press. This one is, I think, from a Japanese brand, and this one is actually not that bad. It does look pretty good on the skin, but the tint is just so yellow. I've never seen such a yellow sunscreen. A yellow and mixed with orange sunscreen. Besides that, it is kind of matte. It's kind of like semi-matte. It does spread nicely on the skin. It does look a little bit makeup-y. I think it's fragrance and alcohol free, but it has a lot of fungal acne triggers, like a lot of them. So yeah, this is the pass for me. Just, I don't know why they call this one light beige. This is not light beige. This is like the yellowest of the yellowest sunscreen I've ever tried. And the last one is a mineral sunscreen from Goodal, which is the Heartleaf Calming Mineral Filter Sun Cream. This has a white cast on my skin. It's not gonna work for most people. It has some essential oils that I don't like. Yeah, it's also a mineral sunscreen that has an SPF booster, which my skin doesn't like. The butyl salicylate or something like that. It's pretty much oxysalate, but kind of disguised as an SPF booster. So brands can call it 100% mineral, even though it's not. Okay, now I'm gonna get to the average sunscreens. Some of these actually might work for some people. I'm gonna mention that if that's the case, but they just didn't work for me. I'm going to start with the Avene Sunsimed Pigment Blue Light. This is actually a medical device. It's not your normal sunscreen. Protection of this one is going to be top-notch, one of the best protections in the world, most probably. But with that, it comes the greasiness, yeah, it looks shiny, very shiny on the skin. It does have only new generation UV filters. It does have the Tri-Storm, which is the patented filter by Avene, which is very good, but it does have that yellowish cast, and it's one of the worst. I think it's way worse than the La Roche-Posay, for example, which also has the menstrual, and it does give you a, kind of like a yellowish tint, but this one is more pronounced in my opinion. And I thought I'm gonna like it, but it's just I keep on finding excuses not to use, like not today, it's too greasy for today. It's probably the best protection out of all of these sunscreens, but if you cannot use it, then what's the point? I still prefer to get the also very high protection from this La Roche-Posay, but in a much better texture and finish on the skin. And yeah, I'm gonna use it on my body though at the beach. It's gonna be an amazing sunscreen for that. But if you don't mind the shininess, if you don't mind the greasiness, this is probably the best protection you can get at the moment. One of the best, let's just say that. Now the next one is this one from Olival, which is an SPF 50 only. This one actually is matte in the beginning, but then it gets shiny very, very fast for some reason. And it doesn't have the best texture and spreadability. It is pretty thick, pretty pasty. Besides that though, almost fungal acne safe. I think it has only one fungal acne trigger. I'm thinking now I should start mentioning the prices because some of these are actually good, they just didn't work for me. Unlike the previous four, the first four ones, those I cannot recommend to anyone, so the price doesn't matter. But the Avene one is around, I paid around $15 for 80 ml, so you get a lot. It's very cost effective, this one. This one from Olival is $15 for 50 mls. Alcohol free, fragrance free. It has mostly new generation UV filters, but it does have octinoxate from the old generation UV filters. My skin doesn't mind octinoxate. It's just that thickness and pastiness. I keep like not using this one. I keep like using other sunscreens instead of this one. It's not a bad one though. If you really need 1 hour of matte skin, I guess it's a good option. Next one is this one from Cetaphil, the Redness Relieving SPF 40. On paper, this sunscreen looks amazing. It is $18 for 50 mls. It has only titanium dioxide and zinc oxide. This actually is 100% mineral, doesn't have any SPF boosters. SPF 40 only though. It is tinted. It is fungal acne safe. No fragrance, no alcohol. Great on paper, it's just not the best when you apply it. It does act kind of like a mineral sunscreen. It is pretty thick and pretty pasty, not the best spreadability, not the worst though, kind of average. I think a couple of years ago this would have been, I would rave about this one, but now after trying all these amazing Korean sunscreens, I'm like, But it is fungal acne safe though. If you're looking for a mineral fungal acne safe option, this is gonna be good for you, but it is a little bit orange and doesn't look the best on the skin. It doesn't look too makeupy, but still, you can kind of see it. Yeah, this one, so. Not sure if I'm gonna use it though. I also noticed that it is a little bit drying sometimes. Depends on my skin and what my current skincare is, but it is a little bit drying. Next one is this from Mad About Skin, which you guys probably follow. And he's an amazing skincare content creator. All the breakthroughs and news in the skincare world, you're gonna find them there. If you don't follow him, go subscribe. But this is the Mad About Skin Protect and Hydrate Sunscreen. It offers 6 hours of protection. It says on the package, I guess they did some additional testing for that. Don't quote me on that though. SPF 50 plus. This one, I just don't use it on my face because it has sunflower seed oil as the third or the second ingredient. So it's a pretty high amount of that, and I am fungal acne prone, and oils and fungal acne, they don't really go along together. So I used it a couple of times, but I'm very cautious about this one. It does have, for the most part, new generation filters, but it has octinoxate as an old generation filter. Not sure about the price because I got this one in PR. I'm gonna put the price here so you guys can see, but I got it in PR, this one. I like using this one on my neck and on my hands because it is somehow hydrating, but it doesn't leave that sticky, greasy finish. It's kind of like dry touch in a way, and it really, really hydrates your skin. They're not joking when they say protect and hydrate sunscreen. I just cannot use this on my face, but for the body, this is a pretty good option. You get 100 ml of product, which is a lot, and they have very good prices, so I think this is worth buying actually. Anyway, going back to the sunflower seed oil, that one is a good ingredient overall. It's a nice oil, but for very acne prone skin, for fungal acne prone skin, it's just a no-no. So Yeah. Okay, next I have Bellflower. This is the Watermelon Fresh Sunscreen. It is a little bit dirty because I've been traveling with it. This is a Korean sunscreen, but it feels like a European sunscreen. It is pretty thick. It has alcohol though, so based on that, it should be very lightweight and nice, but it's not. It is pretty, it is your average European sunscreen, but without the water resistancy, without the very high protection. It is SPF50 plus PA plus 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 plus. It's just, yeah, it's an average sunscreen to me. Doesn't smell that great. Alcohol, it does have only new generation filters though, and it has a lot of fog acne triggers, so that's another reason why this one is just an average sunscreen to me. Next I have this one from Face Republic, which is a water-resistant Korean sunscreen, which is very hard to find. It's a rare thing in the Korean sunscreen world. But this one, it didn't make the top just because there's another option that I like a little bit more. Because the essential oil scent of this one is just, I don't like the smell of essential oils at all. So because of that, I don't really want to wear it. Besides that, great option, all the new generation UV filters. Almost fong acne safe. I think it has 1 or 2 ingredients that are not fong acne safe. It has the texture of a Korean sunscreen with the added benefit of being water resistant. It is a little bit thicker though than this one, which is another Korean sunscreen water resistant option from Heliocare. I'm gonna get into this later. But yeah, the smell of this one, I just don't like it. I don't like essential oil scent, and it's pretty potent. It doesn't dissipate that easily. Besides that, a pretty good option. If you like the smell of essential oils, you're gonna like this one. Good price, I think $12 for 50 mLs, right? Yeah, and this one from Heliocare, you get a little bit more for the same price, even lower price. So that's why it's in the top, and this one is not from Face Republic. It's a pretty good option though. Next I have actually another Korean sunscreen. This is the one from Manyo. Manyo Hyaluron Hydrating Sunscreen SPF50 plus PA plus 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 4 pluses basically. New generation UV filters in this one. Not water resistant. But the smell of this one, very floral, very strong. It dissipates not that easily. So I'm kind of like not using it because of that reason. It's really like such a powerful floral scent. Maybe some of you are gonna like it, but it's just not for me. This one has an interesting texture because it starts kind of like a very lightweight sunscreen, kind of like a serumy sunscreen. It feels like water when you start rubbing it in. So, but initially it's kind of like a nice cream. From cream goes to very watery, but then it ends up kind of like giving you this very hydrating finish and feel at the end. A little bit too hydrating for me. And that's pretty much it about this one. Not a bad option, just that fragrance is not for me. Another Korean sunscreen from Beauty of Joseon is their new release, which is an amazing sunscreen. It's very lightweight, very, very lightweight. One of the most lightweight out of all these sunscreens. The finish is not too glowy. It is a little bit glowy, but one of the least shiny sunscreens that I've tried. Only new generation UV filters, but for some reason, and they ruined this sunscreen with that, they've included the butyl salicylate, which is that SPF booster that brands use with mineral sunscreens to kind of boost the SPF, but still call it mineral, because this specific ingredient is not considered a UV filter, but it kind of is. It's kind of like octisalate, and my skin hates octisalate. And this one has that SPF booster. I don't know why they included it, considering they have access to all these new filters. But because of that, I feel my skin being irritated from this one sometimes. So I'm like, it's still pretty full because of that. I'm gonna use it on my body, but it's not water resistant, and also it does peel for some people. I didn't really experience that, but a lot of people said this one peels for them. So yeah. Great price though, it's like $12-13 for 50 mLs. Next I have this one from Biovene, which I have nothing bad to say about this one. It's just like a really average sunscreen, I guess. SPF50 only. Well, only, it's really It's pretty high protection, but still not SPF 50 plus. I paid only €5 for this one. I bought it in Lisbon, in I forgot the name of this like stores they have, but only it was on a big discount. Normally it's I think around €15, but you get 200 ml. So I paid €5 for 200 ml of product. This smells amazing to me. It smells like vanilla, like cookies, something like that. I really like the smell of this one, and that's the main reason I used it on my body. It is kind of shiny, but not too shiny. It is a little bit greasy, but not too greasy. It's like everything about this is average, but the price is very good. And also it is phone locking safe. Oh, I bought it from Primor. Now I see here. Primor, it was 16 and I paid 5. I don't know if you can see that. So I think it's phone locking safe. There is one ingredient I could not find much information about, but besides that, phone locking safe, and only new generation filters. So maybe I should put this one in the top actually. A really nice option for people who are on a really low budget. Great one. This one almost made it up, let's just say that. All these that I'm gonna talk about, there are 3 more sunscreens in the average. Like these 3 almost made the top, but I cannot just put all of them in the top 12 that I have. Next is this one from Heliocare. Heliocare Sensation Ultralight Oil-Free Sunscreen. I think this one is almost phone locking safe. I'm not sure. I think it has only one phone locking trigger. But this one feels amazing. So lightweight. So just, it leaves you this very dry touch finish. No shininess. It kind of has like a natural finish. There's just a tiny bit of glow. One of the least shiny sunscreens I've tried, while being water resistant, I think. The main reason this one didn't make the top is because the fragrance is pretty strong, and because it has octisalate, which my skin doesn't like. This is my top, so I'm kind of like talking about my experience, but that's why I'm saying I can recommend some of these sunscreens for other people, because if you don't have an octisalate sensitivity, this is going to be an amazing option for you. I just cannot use it because I have that sensitivity, but most people don't. So this, I can recommend this one. It is $17 for 50 ml, your standard sunscreen. Yeah, really nice one. Using this one on my body, I feel like I'm not wearing any sunscreen. I don't know how they achieve that texture, being alcohol free. Great option. Just not for me because of the octisalate sensitivity. Next I have this one from L'Oreal, which is a tinted sunscreen that almost made the top. It has avobenzone and a lot of new generation UV filters, but it doesn't have the max roll 400, which L'Oreal has access to. Bummer. Not phone locking safe, not water resistant. The tint is nice for this. It's one of the lightest tints I've tried, because most of the tinted sunscreens are very orange and dark. This one almost works for me. It is a little bit too dark, but if I have self-tanner on like I do now, it works for me. It looks very nice. A little bit shiny. That's kind of one of the reasons it didn't really make the top, because it has fragrance, it is a bit shiny. Avobenzone, which is an old generation UV filter. $17 for 50 ml though. Yeah, almost made the top, but there are some other tinted sunscreens that I liked more. They're a little bit less shiny than this one. And that's pretty much it. And the last one in the average category. Although this one I was kind of debating maybe putting it in the top 12, because it's really a good option. It is from Transparent Lab Invisible Sunscreen, and it's one of those silicone sunscreen that leave, this one leaves kind of like a natural finish. It does still have a little bit of glow. It's not as matte as the SDR one, the Ultra Matte Sunscreen. It does have a little bit of a glow. It does have that silicone feel that you guys probably know about. But $20 for 100 ml, so great, very cost effective. A lot of new generation UV filters, but it also has octinoxide very high up in the ingredient list. I'm not really a fan of that. It is the second ingredient. A lot of silicones, has some nice skin soothing ingredients, some ceramides though. Yeah, it's just, I love using this one on my body. This is the main sunscreen I use on my body, but for the face, not so much. It tends to kind of give me some eye discomfort, this one. That's another reason it didn't make the top. But for the body, feels dry touch, doesn't look shiny. Great option for the body. I probably am gonna repurchase this one during their sale that they usually have around Black Friday. Oh, it's so hot in this room. This is gonna be a long video. 24 minutes already. Okay, now I'm gonna start with the top 12 sunscreen. I couldn't do the top 10 this year just because there are so many good ones. I couldn't eliminate 2 more. I'm gonna start with the Bioderma Photoderm XDefense Ultra Fluid. This is their tinted version. They have a non-tinted version, which is actually in my top 3. So stay tuned for that by the end of the video. This one, avobenzone and new generation UV filters. It does have fragrance, but it's alcohol-free, SPF50 plus. Probably very high UVA protection. I don't know for sure though. I'm not sure if it's water resistant. I've seen different opinions online and even from the brand. Some people I saw, they responded it is water resistant, for others it is not. So I think it's probably not, because usually if it's water resistant it's pretty clear, but I don't know. Very nice. The tint matches my skin tone. The palest probably tinted sunscreen I've tried. One of the palest, one of them like most lightweight. They have different shades also, which is very nice. But this one matches my skin tone even when I don't have a self tanner on. It does look a little, it feels very lightweight and it sprays nicely, but it does look a little bit makeup-y for my taste. Not too bad though, hence why it is in the top 12. But yeah, this is a nice option. $17 for 40 mls. Unfortunately, they went down to 40, which is a crime in my opinion, but it is what it is. Next is this one from Babé Laboratories. Super Fluid Color Mattifying Sunscreen. This one has niacinamide apparently. $15 for 50 mls. Your standard price and like size. This one is actually almost matte. Kind of like a natural, maybe semi-matte for some people finish, which is nice. I love that. That's why it made the top. The tint is a little bit dark for me, but it works when I have self tanner on. It does have fragrance, but it's alcohol free. And it is water resistant, this one, I think. Oh, I'm actually not sure about that. If you guys know anything about the water resistance of the Bioderma or this one, let me know in the comments below. When it comes to water resistance, sometimes it's kind of hard to find if they are or not. But it does feel like it is though. Next one is actually the best tinted sunscreen I've tried so far during all these years. Is this one from Luxurious Sun Care SPF50. This one is $10 for 75 mls. One of the best options when it comes to price out of this entire list. Filters, it has octinoxate and a lot of new generation UV filters. Fragrance and alcohol free, and this one is fog acne safe, which is nice. Spreads nicely on the skin. It has kind of like I'm wearing it right now actually, but it is very hot in this room and I look a little bit shiny, but it is not. It is kind of like a semi-matte finish. One of the least shiny sunscreen I've tried. Maybe even one of the, it's up there. One of the most matte, let's say, sunscreen I've tried. Really, really nice. They have 2 shades. This is I'm wearing the natural beige, and this one, it's a tiny bit dark for me, just a tiny bit. As you can see, I am a little bit darker on my body because I'm wearing self tanner than my face, but makes your skin tone more uniform. Of course, all these tinted sunscreen, they are gonna provide blue light protection, which is very important if you're trying to fade hyperpigmentation for people with melasma. Yeah, still nobody beat this one when it comes to the tinted sunscreens. It was in my list last year. It's not very high up just because of that old generation UV filter and because it's not gonna work for everybody, but I love it. It doesn't look too makeup-y. It does give you a little bit of coverage, but not too makeup-y. I think even guys can wear this one. Even in my eyebrows looks pretty nice. Not sure on a full beard because I don't have that, but great option. Really, really like this one. And a very, very cost-effective option. Next one, I have this one from Photoderm, which is a Turkish brand, I think. SPF50 plus anti-blemish sun cream. This one is $12 for 50 ml, so pretty good price. It is a combination of new generation UV filters and zinc oxide. It has a little bit of zinc oxide, but it doesn't give me any white cast. I cannot speak anymore. It's a long video. It doesn't have any white cast. It has a lot of nice ingredients for the skin, like arbutin, which is gonna brighten your skin. Licorice root is gonna do the same thing, but also soothe your skin. Looks good on the skin, not too shiny. It's actually one of the least shiny sunscreens I've tried. Spreads nicely, fragrance and alcohol free, great price. Almost fungal acne safe. I think it has 1 or 2 ingredients. I think it was 1 fungal acne triggers. And yeah, really impressed by this one. I wasn't expecting that. It is a little bit dry sometimes, very rarely. But if you have dry skin, maybe you should stay away from this one. Otherwise, I guess that zinc gives you that like mattifying effect. Just a tiny bit. I don't mind that because I have oily skin. Next, I have this one from Holica. This is actually almost empty. Really love this sunscreen. It's a Korean water-resistant sunscreen. Very hard to find. Only new generation UV filters. I paid only $10 for 70 ml, which is more than you normally get. Great price for this one. Only new generation UV filters. It has some like nice soothing ingredients, like all the Korean sunscreens. It does have fragrance though, but it's alcohol free. And a nice glowy finish makes my skin look better than it actually is, because it has Tinosorb M, which is a new generation filter that it is insoluble and gives you a little bit of a white cast. To me, it doesn't give me a white cast, but it just makes my skin more polished, look more polished, and just my blackheads kind of disappear. Really nice. I really love this one. The fragrance is not too strong and it dissipates pretty quickly. It is kind of floral, I would say. So yeah, great option, this one. It's also almost fungal acne safe. It has only 1 fungal acne trigger. So get it. Okay, so I actually took a break, so you might feel a switch in the energy, the way I talk, the lighting. But the next sunscreen I have is from another Korean skincare brand. It's from House of Her. Weightless Sun Fluid SPF50 PA+++++. Only new generation UV filters. $13 for 50 ml. Fragrance and alcohol free. This one is one of the most lightweight sunscreens I've tried. It's very fluidy. It does leave kind of like a natural, maybe semi-matte for some people finish, but it's mostly natural for me. There is a slight glow to it, but it's one of the least shiny sunscreens from the Korean world. Well, sunscreens in general. And it kind of keeps that finish throughout the day somehow. They have, I guess, added some mattifying ingredients in this one. It is not fungal acne safe though. I think it has 2 or 3 fungal acne triggering ingredients. But a great option. One of the least shiny sunscreen from the Korean sunscreen. Some people might not like that. Some people might like the glow that Korean sunscreens gives them, but I have oily skin, so I prefer this one. The next one is from CosRX. This was in my top 10 last year also. It's the Ultralight Invisible Sunscreen, and this is a fungal acne safe Korean sunscreen option. I usually buy this one for $7, $8, $9 from yesstyle for 50 ml, so an amazing price. Only new generation UV filters, fragrance and alcohol free, fungal acne safe, like I said, which is very hard to find. So if I'm experiencing a fungal acne flare-up, this is my go-to. Kind of like a glowy finish. It gives a glowy finish. Next, I have 2 sunscreens on the same position. These are both Korean sunscreens. Yeah, the reason these are on the same position is because they are pretty much the same sunscreen. The only slight difference is in the texture. This one has a little bit more body to it, and this one is a little bit more lightweight. The Skin 1004 and the Goodal Calming Moisture Sun Cream. But pretty much the same price, same filters, only new generation UV filters. The price is around $10, $12 for 50 ml. Although the Skin 1004, you can find it on a very good discount most of the time. Same ingredients pretty much. This one is calming because of the centella. The Goodal is calming because of the Heartleaf, but they're both like calming. I cannot really see much difference between these two. So they are both on the same position. I raved about Skin 1004 for many years at this point. Amazing sunscreen. Why I love these two is because they have Tinted M, which is a new generation UV filter that gives that very minimal white cast. On my skin it doesn't show like a white cast, but it just makes my skin look more polished. The pores are gone, the blackheads are gone. Just, yeah, it's not makeup, but it's just, I don't know, it makes my skin look slightly better than it actually is. They both have like a nice glow to them. Amazing options. Gotta mention these are both, it's getting dark outside by the way. These are both fragrance free and alcohol free. Now on the fourth position, it's actually a pretty new one in my list. This is the Sundance SPF50 Plus Clear Skin. I bought this one from DM. If you live in Europe, you probably know what DM is. This one is amazing. It's only like $6 or $7 for 50 mls. But it only has new generation UV filters. It has 5% niacinamide, which is a lot. It would replace your niacinamide serum in the morning. And has some inulin, 2%. Very good option. Has the texture of a Korean sunscreen, very lightweight, very fluidy. But it dries down to be a little bit on the shinier side. That's kind of the main downside for this one. It is slightly shiny, not the worst. I've seen way worse than this one, but yeah, never irritated my skin. I actually feel like it calms it down. Really nice option, especially for the price. It is very also easy to get, just because I can walk in the DM and get it. So yeah, check this one out. And it's from Acne Safe. I don't know if I said it already, but it's from Acne Safe. Impressive. Very hard to find. That's why it's in the fourth position, this one. Okay, I need to hurry up. Top 3 sunscreens. It's getting dark outside. On the third position, we have the Bioderma Photoderm XDefense Ultra Fluid SPF50 Plus. This one is $17 for 40 mls only. Yeah, I was debating putting this one in the third position, but it is really that good. It has avobenzone and some new generation UV filters. Tinted S, if I remember correctly, and Uvenol A+. Those are the filters. It has some SPF boosters also for the UVB protection. Alcohol free. It does have fragrance. It's kind of a nice fragrance. It dissipates pretty quickly, but it is in there. And this one has a UVA protection of 39, which is very high. Considering how lightweight, how beautiful it is on the skin, the finish is pretty natural, I would say. Maybe a little bit glowy, but one of the least shiny sunscreens I've tried. For such high UVA protection, that is incredible to me. My only problem with this one is that I'm not sure this one is for water resistant. Some people say it is, some people say it's not. I had followers, some of my followers reached out to the brands actually. One of them told me the brand said it's water resistant. The other one said it's not. They both sent me screenshots. I'm like, I guess it's not. I mean, if it was, it would have been like very in your face. It is water resistant, but it's probably not. I don't know. Maybe they just didn't test for water resistancy. But the UVA protection is amazing. So if this was water resistant, maybe it would have been on the second position, because for this texture it's just almost impossible to be that good. But it's not. It's in the third place. Kind of a high price. I'm still gonna repurchase it just because I really like how it feels so dry touch, so just not too shiny. It kind of makes my skin look a little bit nicer than it actually is. Really good option. And it never irritated my skin, even though it has avobenzone. It's an old generation UV filter. I think it's almost like the same. It only has polysorbate 60, which is not the worst, but it is in there. Pretty low on the ingredient list though. Second position, the winner of for the past 2 or 3 years was this one, the P20 SPF50 Plus Sensitive Skin. $30 for 200 mls. It is a little bit more pricey, but you get a lot of products. This is gonna last you half a year if you use it correctly, where one of these is gonna last you 1 month. So you do the math. It's pretty cost effective. Only new generation UV filters, fragrance and alcohol free, very water resistant. They also do additional testing to prove that this one offers 10 hours of protection and a UVA protection above 40. Top-notch protection with this one. It is a little bit thicker, it is a little bit shinier, but it is expected with such high water resistance and such high UVA protection, but doesn't irritate your skin because of it only has new generation UV filters. It's really nice around my eyes, no white cast for me with this one. Yeah, still an amazing option. This, however, has been dethroned this year just because the next one performed a little bit better. But yeah, not for longly safe though. This one is not for longly safe. And the winner for 2025 is the La Roche-Posay Antelios UV Milk 400 Anti-Dark Spots Fluid. $17 for 50 ml. They still kept the 50 ml at least, unlike the Bioderma. This one is on the first position just because of the way it performed. I went to a vacation. I only used this sunscreen, and for the first time in many years, I came back with no worsening of the hyperpigmentation around my eyes. That always gets worse no matter what sunscreen I use, no matter how much I reapply when I go to vacations. UV index of 10, 11, it always gets slightly worse. This was the first time when that didn't happen, so I guess this just provides top-notch protection. For the most part, is the only new generation UV filters, but it does have a avobenzone. It does have the patented filter from L'Oreal, which is called Maxwell 400, which offers ultra-long UVA protection. You cannot really find another filter like this on the market, unfortunately. Hopefully soon there will be some. But this has alcohol, a lot of it. It doesn't have fragrance though, so at least that. And it's not fully foam safe. It has polysorbate 60, but that's it. Very low on the ingredient list. But amazing protection. What can I say? The fact that it's it has alcohol, it has avobenzone, already will kind of knock out some people from ever being able to use this one, which is a shame. Maybe they will give up on the alcohol in the future, I don't know, but it is what it is. It doesn't bother my skin. It is hydrating, even though it has all that alcohol. It has all these other ingredients, all these filters. It has a lot of filters. And it does have the Melasil, which is the new patented ingredient that's supposed to provide anti-pigmentation effects. They say it's better than hydroquinone, which is, I don't think it is, but it is, I guess, a nice bonus. You are going to apply a lot of the sunscreen, so you end up applying a lot of that ingredient, of the Melasil. Maybe that's the reason my hyperpigmentation didn't get worse, but I think it's the combination of the very good UVA protection, especially in the ultra-long range, which none of these other sunscreens provide. I guess that is very important. And the Melasil. So those combined. I have a full review of this sunscreen where I talk in more details about it. Check it out. But this is the winner. I'm sorry, it might not be for everybody just because of the alcohol and avobenzone. If you're allergic to those, you won't be able to use it. But it is my winner. I am gonna use it non-stop this summer. And yeah, that's it. I'm still gonna use my P20, of course, here and there. But this has a better texture, better finish. It's not as shiny. It is the best out of the entire UV Milk range. And the main reason I'm able to use this one is because they gave up on octisalate, which is the filter that my skin doesn't like, the old generation filter. My voice is already gone. I think I'm not gonna film videos like this anytime soon. They're too long, even for people, I guess, to watch them. That's it. That's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you find it helpful. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Let me know in the comments questions, your experience with some of these sunscreens, maybe your favorite sunscreen. Maybe I should try it. Love you. See you on my next video.